a high leverage college player gets drafted by the Mets, which has has a very well known orthopedic staff. They obviously saw something they didn't like, but it was much like the trouble I ran into with the Orioles back in '93-4. We would see people who I thought were going to have trouble quickly, but were still pitching at a high level. You cannot flunk a Kumar Rocker who's throwing 95 miles an hour. He can clearly pitch, but it gets into the contract. And I had notable reporters calling me a charlatan, a quack. One very notable reporter said I had some magic crystal ball to read the future. But if you're talking about giving people 5 and 6 and 8-year contracts, you're playing into that. And in Rocker's case, obviously, the Mets passed. I assume they got a compensatory pick for him, which is why they probably passed. He sat out a year. The Rangers drafted him, 2 or 3 or something like that. And immediately he had Tommy John surgery. So the Rangers may have felt, because they have a top-notch doctor also, and Keith Meister said, well, maybe he needs the Tommy John surgery, but I think it's worth the number 3 pick. The Mets probably say, I'm not taking the number 3 pick for a guy who's 3 years away from pitching. So that gets into the financial long-range plan of teams of how they want to do things like that.